San Francisco is a tolerant city, and we have some folks who go around naked in public, and there's a big debate about whether that should be legal or illegal. But this is really focusing on two very specific issues. One, that when you go into a restaurant, you should cover up. And two, if you're going to sit down in public seating, you should put something down, which is already apparently nudist etiquette, but unfortunately not everyone is following that etiquette. So it's a pretty basic piece of legislation.
So what kind of complaints do you actually get from residents about those going nude?
Well, I represent the Castro among other neighborhoods, and I get a lot of different opinions. There are folks who are very much in favor of banning it completely, people who don't like it but think we shouldn't ban it, and others who think it's just fine. So there's a lot of different opinions in the city, and I'm sure the debate will continue. But this legislation is a pretty basic common sense measure to have public sanitation.
I mean, if I'm hearing you correctly, I think that you're suggesting that this might be a health risk to those around there, around the nudes?
It's just not sanitary, and I think if you ask most people, would you want to, be eating in a restaurant and have a bunch of naked people sitting at the next table? Most people probably would not like that. And if you ask someone if you'd want to sit down on a public bench that a naked person had just sat on without covering, most people would probably prefer to avoid that as well.
I mean, just give us an idea, if you can, of what it's like just to walk around there. If it's legal, people are just walking around on the street nude. I mean, is it really that common?
No, in the Castro, there's a group that does it on a pretty regular basis. So in the Castro, yeah, it's a pretty common occurrence. In most of the city, it's not. This is pretty geographically limited, but it's gotten more common in the Castro in the last few years.
You know, there's a lot of things that make San Francisco colorful. Some might say this is one of them, and you're shutting it down or trying to shut it down. What do you say to your critics?
Well, no, it's not shutting anything down. It's saying that you need to put a towel down if you're going to sit down in public seating, and you need to dress if you're going to go into a restaurant. So in terms of that color, that wouldn't, this doesn't prohibit that at all. That's a debate that we're having in the city, and it's a discussion for another day.
So what's the next step here? When will we know if nudists can still roam free in the San Francisco area?
Well, again, it's not about nudists roaming free. It's about whether they have to put a towel down or put clothes on to go in a restaurant. And it'll go to a committee hearing probably next month, and I assume it'll come to the full Board of Supervisors within the next few months for consideration.